Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the Blues of September 2016. First up is the Shoutout, of course, and this one is going to Thomas Pollock. He's a YouTuber from the UK. He has some very enjoyable videos, and he recently did a video which is called A Personal Journey Through Cinema History with Thomas Pollock. Which is almost 2 hour long video, and I have to admit I haven't seen the entire video yet, but what I've seen so far looks really, really good. Very professional, very insightful, and I will leave a link to that video below, as well as the link to his channel, so definitely go check him out and subscribe to him if you haven't done it yet. And watch that video and his other videos as well, of course. Thomas Pollock, go check him out. Okay, we start off with a few DVDs, and the first one is Helen of Troy. I love these kind of movies. These kind of epic spectacle movies from the 1950s and 1960s. I grew up on these movies. Well, for some reason, I've never seen this one before, Helen of Troy. This is actually the first time that I've seen it on this DVD, and I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty good film, directed by Robert Wise. He just made a lot of different films with a lot of different genres, and he succeeded in every one of them. He was a fantastic filmmaker, no doubt. But yeah, good movie, Helen of Troy. Next one is the Cinema Classics Volume 2. I still need to get to Volume 1. I'd like to get that someday. I know that Volume 1 has The Fall of the Roman Empire, for example. But this one contains 4 Italian sword and sandal movies. The first one is Ulysses with Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn. I believe that this movie was co-directed by Mario Bava, if I'm not mistaken. I actually read that somewhere. Mario Bava was the cinematographer of this film, and the original director, G.W. Babs, you might know him from Pandora's Box, the classic silent film. He stepped out of the movie, and then an Italian director named Mario Camerini stepped in, and he co-directed it along with Mario Bava, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the second movie is Constantine the Great, and then we have The Legend of Aeneas and Attila, another one with Anthony Quinn, in which he plays Attila the Hun. And these two movies, Ulysses and The Legend of Aeneas, are pretty much follow-ups to the story of Helen of Troy, But yeah, I haven't seen these movies yet, but I do enjoy these films, these Italian sword and sandal films, or gladiator films, whatever you want to call it. So I'm looking forward to watching these. I have seen this one a long time though. Unfortunately, there's a sticker on it, as you noticed. I tried to peel it off, but if I do that, it leaves a little damage, so decided to not to do it. But that's pretty much a shame, actually. But it's a nice set, and I'm going to get the first DVD set as well. Now here's a very nice release of The Spider. It was originally titled Earth versus the Spider. But they changed the name at the last moment, and the reason for that is because before this movie came out, The Fly was released and became a big success. So the producers wanted to, cash in on that success. So they quickly changed the title, but they couldn't change it in the movie itself because it was, already completed. But they did change the name on the posters, lobby cards, other publicity material and all that. But it pretty much had 2 names, The Spider and Earth versus the Spider. But this is a nice release. Dutch release. Also come with these art cards. Let me show you that in a minute. And this one, it has an advertisement flyer. It has the other movies as well. War of the Colossal Beast. Oh, wait a minute, this one. Blood of Dracula. I still need to get all these movies, by the way. I really enjoy these 1950s B movies and all that. Some of them were directed by Roger Corman. But this was absolutely enjoyable. Not as enjoyable as Tarantula, Jack Arnold's giant spider B movie, but it's still very, very much fun. Very. Next is The Bride Wore Black. Now I have this Blu-ray for some time, and I just completely forgot to show it in one of the early updates. I believe I got this since February or March or something like that, but I just forgot about it. But I saw it recently and realized that I've never showed it in an update video, so here it is, better late than never. But this is a film by François Truffaut, and this is his homage to Hitchcock. After he published that famous book where he interviews, Alfred Hitchcock, he wanted to do a Hitchcockian film, and this was the result of that. And he also hired Bernard Herrmann, who was the legendary composer who did a lot of music for Hitchcock's films, Psycho, for example, and North by Northwest, of course, Rear Window. And if you watch this film and you listen to, excuse me, if you listen to his music, you do have a Hitchcock feeling to it, even though it is very much done in François Truffaut's own style, but it's a terrific film. It's a terrific film. That's released by Twilight Time, and it also has a bonus disc, which is called Conversation Piece, an unvarnished chat with Bernard Herrmann, which is a 1970 interview conducted for a Los Angeles Free Press article, the audio for which was never intended to be heard by the public. Here it is, 79 minutes long, so this is a very nice little extra there. But I really enjoyed it. It was a really good film. The Bride Wore Black. Next is Matinee, which is a wonderful film by Joe Dante. I used to have the French Blu-ray, but I sold that one when I found out that Arrow was going to release this. But yeah, it's a wonderful release. Definitely has more extras on it than the French or the German ones. It comes with a booklet as well. I believe the booklet is only available in the first pressing, so keep that in mind. And not only for Matinee, but also for the other future releases. Here's the other artwork, by the way. Great set. Wonderful movie, Matinee. The Flight of the Phoenix. Absolutely love this film. What a great film this was. And what a great cast. You had Jim Stewart and Richard Attenborough, who was fantastic in this one. Peter Vince, Hardy Kruger, Ernest Borgnine, Ian Bannon. just Dan Duryea, George Kennedy. Just a fabulous group of actors there. Directed by Robert Aldrich, great director. He also did The Dirty Dozen, for example. And I noticed something when I was watching this movie the other day on this Blu-ray, and I noticed something around the 19th minute. I was watching a scene, and suddenly it went to another scene, and I'm sure there was a mistake there. And I don't know if Eureka is responsible for that. But yeah, that was a little strange. I mean, it has to be a little mistake there. You know, there's one scene and then suddenly it cuts to the other scene, kind of like in the middle of a scene. You know what I mean? Yeah, or around the 19th minute, 19 minutes and 10, 11 seconds. If anyone has this, let me know if you had the same problem. But yeah, great movie. Anyway, The Flight of the Phoenix. Next is the UK steelbook of Captain America: Civil War, and this movie was so great. I mean, so great. I mean, in my opinion, this is the best Marvel movie so far. I mean, they just nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. Everything is just brilliantly done. The characters, especially the new characters. Spider-Man. I mean, what a fantastic official intro into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Same thing with Black Panther. I thought his character was fantastic, and also the actor who played him. What's his name again? Chadwick Boseman. He was great. And all the actors were great. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, he was wonderful. And it also has a good story, which you usually do not see in these type of movies, right? And not necessarily these superhero movies, but Hollywood movies in general. You don't. They always miss a good story, but this one does have a good story, and it works on every level. It works not only as a superhero movie, but also as a political thriller. With the same thing with the previous Captain America movie, The Winter Soldier, which also had, the combination of superhero and political thriller. They were inspired by the political thrillers from the 1970s, 3 Days of the Condor, for example, and they just continued that, that theme with Civil War as well, but only made it better, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, this was such a fantastic film. I love this scene, by the way. Of course, they got this from the comic book. The way they made this into the movie was great. And if you ask me which side I am on, Captain America or Iron Man, I definitely have no idea, because they're both right. I cannot make up my mind. But yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That fight sequence in the airport, or on the airport, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It's the most entertaining movie I've seen so far this year, and I don't think there will be a movie in 2016 that is even more entertaining. Well, maybe Star Wars Rogue One. You never know. But here's a look at the interior artwork there, with everybody fighting everybody. But yeah, great. You kind of wish that every Marvel movie was as good as this one, really. Absolutely fantastic, and I love the steelbooks. Looks absolutely great. Captain America: Civil War. It's a childhood favorite of mine. One of many, I have to say. Labyrinth, the 30th anniversary edition. This is the digibook version, and a lovely release as well. Go quickly through the pages there. There's the great Jim Henson. He died way too early, by the way. Terry Jones, right? Yeah, Terry Jones. Jennifer Connelly, who was 14 years old when she made this movie, and of course the great and unfortunately late David Bowie as the Goblin King. I mean, this movie is an evergreen, isn't it? It's just never gets boring. It's just as fun as it was, the first time I saw it when I was a kid. It's a wonderful movie. Here's the Blu-ray upside down. Very, very nice release. Labyrinth. And here's the Dishy book of Fright Night Part 2 from Germany or Austria. One of the two countries. I think it's Austria. Anyway, stop rambling. You might remember that I bought an unofficial Blu-ray release a couple of months ago. I was convinced that this movie would not be getting an official release. And a few YouTubers commented that it is getting an official Blu-ray release. And I was like, yes, of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, just at the time when you've given up on the idea that this movie is getting an official release, it's getting an official release. But anyway, let me show you the pages of this very nice release. There's the Blu-ray. There's a picture there of the two main characters. And it's a really good sequel, by the way. Really good. Not as good as the original movie, of course, but it is a lot better than the unnecessary remake. And great makeup effects, by the way. Oh, look at that. That's really good. And this is the DVD. And behind that is a nice picture of Julie Carmen as Regine. Who's the sister of Chris Sarandon's character from the original movie. But great release. Fright Night Part 2. Okay, I've purchased a couple of horror movies. October. It's October. The month of horror and Halloween. So I hadn't needed to get some horror movies. I will be getting more in the next month, by the way. But anyway, Ghost Story, which is a classic. Absolutely love this film. I've seen it a couple of times when I was growing up, and it always stayed with me. And I finally have it on Blu-ray. For some reason, I never actually got the DVD. But it's a terrific film, and what a terrific cast. I mean, look at this. Fred Astaire, Melvin Douglas, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., John Houseman. And this is their final theatrical movie as well, by the way, except for John Houseman. He made a couple more films after this. But there they are, right there. What a terrific cast. Yes. I mean, they have been cast for their acting talent. I mean, for example, Fred Astaire, we all know him for his dancing talent and his singing talent, but here they really, he was hired for his acting talent. He was a really good actor as well. But there's actually a funny moment in this film where his character, or the younger version of his character, played by a different actor, of course, at one point in the movie he says, "I cannot dance." There's a little joke there. But this is a terrific film. Absolutely a classic. And if you love atmospheric, ghost movies, and you haven't seen this one, definitely go check this one out. This is a wonderful release by Scream Factory. I have a couple of zombie goodness here. The first one is Return of the Living Dead, also from Scream Factory. I just needed to get this one. I have the UK Steelbook, but I wanted to get this one as well, just for a couple of reasons. It has a new 2K transfer, some new extras as well. It also includes More Brains, A Return of the Living Dead, the definitive documentary, which is also on the UK Steelbook. But this is, if you're a fan of this movie like me, and you already have several editions of this movie, you should add this to the collection as well. It's a wonderful release, really is. A very nice artwork there. The other zombie movies I have are two Italian zombie movies. Zombie Holocaust, which is, cult classic. I mean, what can I say about this one? This was released by 88 Films. This one as well, by the way. I'll show you that in a minute. Very nice set, this one. Here's the original artwork. But I kind of prefer this one, actually. I like this one better than the other one. Excuse me. And the other one is Burial Ground, which I know it's a bad movie, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. The makeup effects is just disgusting. And this kid, it's not exactly a kid. He's actually a little. He was a little man, or a dwarf, if you want to. I believe he was 25, 26 when he made this film, and he plays an 11, 12-year-old kid. But he is much more creepier than the zombies in this movie. And that scene, I'm not going to tell you much about the scene, but that scene where he, anyway. I'm not, I won't get into it. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. It's a little, it's a hilarious scene, I have to say. But another excellent release from 88 Films. I'll show you the other artwork there. There it is. And it also has a booklet, like the other one as well, Zombie Holocaust. And this has the advertisement with some other releases as well. I'd like to get more from 88 Films. I think they have done a good job. I found this on eBay for very cheap. By the way, if you, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's some background noise. The neighbors are doing some home improvements again. So if that bothers you, my apologies for that. Anyway, As Above, So Below. Got this very cheap on eBay. And it also includes the slipcase, which is very nice. It's all embossed. You can see all those skulls here and the titles. And this is slightly embossed, the Eiffel Tower. I like what they've done that. But this is a pretty good found footage movie. Really enjoyed this one. It's basically, it's kind of a combination between a found footage horror movie and an adventure movie. And that's what I liked about it. I recently saw a similar movie, which is called The Pyramid, and that was pretty bad. That was a really bad movie. It's a found footage movie as well, but at the end it became a normal movie. It became a found footage movie and a normal movie, and it's just, well, why should I bother explaining that? It was a bad movie. Stay away from it. But it was pretty good. As Above, So Below. And last but not least, I have the Ultimate Collector's Signature Edition box set of The Iron Giant. This movie is finally getting the edition that it deserves. It's just a very underrated animation movie. And here's the the lid of the box set, which looks very nice. If you can see, I'll try to give you a proper image of this without the glare, but that's a little impossible there, as you can see. But very, very nice. And here's my number for those who care about it. Very nice. This is a flyer, by the way, advertisement flyer. You can buy the 8-foot tall robot statue. And this is an advertisement of the illustrated book about the movie. Here we have a picture book, I believe. The Evolution of the Iron Giant. Let me take a quick look on that. Very nice sketches, artwork on that. And there's Brad Bird, the director. we got a page there. This is the cast, or the voice actors, you know. Looks very beautiful, doesn't it? There's very glossy, you know, feel to it, these pages. Very, very nice. I love this one, by the way. You know, very beautiful artwork there. Wonderful book, absolutely wonderful. And then the next one is a personal note by the director Brad Bird, which is great. This is an envelope, and within this envelope are, you know, different artworks of the movie, which looks absolutely stunning, by the way. And that was it. And then we have a small figure of the Iron Giant, which I haven't opened yet. Let me show you what it looks like. It's still in the original packaging, as you can see. There's the base there. Very nice little figure there. And of course, it has the Blu-ray set as well. Now this contains two versions of the movie. You can see the DVD and the Blu-ray, by the way. You had the original theatrical version, and you have the signature edition, which is a couple of minutes longer. I believe two minutes longer, something like that. But yeah, it's a wonderful animation that has gotten the release that it deserves. The Iron Giant, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that was it for my September update. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.